Hey guys, this is Raghu here, and welcome to this show. And in this episode, I got an awesome guest who not only takes care of your money but takes care of your tummy. And let me introduce my guest for this episode. Hey Leslie, welcome to this show.
Hello, Raghu. Thanks for having me on the show.
That's a very interesting thing that you are well known as a rice cooker man, right?
Yes. That's the moniker that was given to me by one of my friends. So it started as I wanted to do this so-called hashtag called Liu Koh Shui. It's a very Chinese saying to say that you salivate. You know, when you eat, then you have like saliva coming out. So after a while, because I use a lot of rice cooker to cook my recipes, so one of my friends or one of my community members gave me this nickname called Rice Cooker Man, and it kind of got stuck. Then it blew up to where I am today.
I
Yeah,
think that's a pretty good branding strategy. You see.
yeah. So I believe that when it comes to branding and marketing, right, you got to do both. Like the Liu Koshi thing that I'm doing was my marketing, but the branding, it's I always say that what branding is all about what people say about you. So when they give you that name, right, it sticks, right? It means that's your branding already. So it could be good, it could be bad, but you just need to know how you can manage it through your marketing way of your doing things. Like I market it through doing my recipes. I market it through what I tell people. What is this all about? When the market replies you, okay, this is what I think you are. That's where your branding will be there. Then if it's big enough, it's strong enough, then you just stick, and that's how you get like what I do is called top of the mind funnel, whereby people will just remember who I am as a person, or be it a person, a personality, or a financial consultant. It's how they want to see it.
So it's awesome, awesome. And you're
Mm.
located. Where are you located?
Singapore. I'm located in Singapore, and I'm in one of the companies that it's red. Yeah,
Okay, very good. So yeah,
yeah.
I have to live in Singapore. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many years have you been into financial advising?
This July will be my 10 year, which is about 1.5 months, about 2 months later. That will be my 10 year in the business.
Okay,
So yeah, long time really.
that's a decade. Yeah, that's very nice to
Mm,
hear about that. Yeah, it's awesome,
yeah.
awesome. So Leslie, how did you get into financial advising?
I think the whole story started was my backstory was actually I came from a very not very well to do family,
Hmm.
and during when I was growing up, I only have a diploma, and while I was in the army, I wanted to take a degree. So at the point of time, my sister was still going through tertiary education, and my dad only had enough money to either fund for my sister's diploma because my sister wanted to take LaSalle, an art diploma, versus I want to take a degree. So it's more expensive for LaSalle, right? So my dad only had the money to either support one of us. So of course, for me as a elder brother, right, I couldn't deprive my sister of a decent education.
Hmm.
So I said, you know what, I'm going to give up my degree, go out to work, and maybe I'll earn the money, and then I'll go and study my own degree. So then, because of that, when I was deciding what to do when I was like about 6 months before I ORD, I was thinking like, what can I do that? What kind of jobs can I do that doesn't limit my earning capacity due to or capabilities due to because of my qualifications. So there was like selling cars, selling insurance, selling property. These are the few things are basically a sales job. So what really got me into choosing then after doing all the way pros and cons, I kind of shortlisted like either property or insurance. Then after that, what really happened or really struck me was that one of my friend uh, so this story was like one of my friend a good friend of mine, and we were colleagues back then. Back before I'm in the army, we worked in a retail shop. We were colleagues, and very nice guy, super cool guy. You know, he's the guy that always be on time.
Hmm.
You can count on him on everything. Very humble guy, and yeah.
Okay.
So what happened was that he actually died in a bike accident.
Mm.
Then I attended his funeral. I was still like in the army. I didn't have much money. We went in, and then it's the most cliche thing you can ever see. An insurance agent passed $100,000 check to the mother,
Mm.
and the mother broke down and cried. And I mean, we were like, oh, what just happened, you know? And it was like, the story was that my friend and the mother, they were like, how to say, they're very close. Means they rely on each other. Means the mom was working odd jobs, my friend was working odd jobs just to support each other, you see. And because of that, when the son died, the mother was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for the funeral. I don't know how life's going to be for me. I don't know what I'm going to do. And that money, that 100,000 means so much to the mother. And one of my mentors when I was in the industry, when I first joined the industry, said this line to me, which brought me back, which is when one life ends, another continues. And that money means a lot to the mother. And I realized that by doing my job as a financial consultant, I could actually change people's life or impact people's life just by doing a good job. So that was something that pushed me and said, insurance was something that I really want to do. And I mean, I'm not sure about some our people like in Singapore, like majority of them are like those who join the industry were mainly of give it a try, give it a shot, see how is it like. I'm here for the money, the fame and everything. It's just totally fine because we are humans. We need money to survive, so it's fine. But I think I'm probably the one that say, hey, you know what? I want to join insurance because I really want to help people. I'm probably one of the few who actually like say, I volunteer to be the tribute, that kind. And that got me, of course, in the beginning of the career. I also because of money, I also want to join the career because like I wanted to earn more money than I could due to my qualification was not very high. So yeah, long story short, initially of course it was money, but ultimately it was the value, or rather the story of, or rather not a story, but what actually happened to my friend and her mother that really made me feel that this is the career that I really want to do, that I can help people a lot. Yeah.
That's awesome. So what's your story behind being a rice cooker man?
Well, that's a very interesting story. So how it happened was that all along I love to cook. So again, I think a lot of times it's circumstances. Like again, another thing is that I came from a single parent family, and my dad, I really respect him. He worked 2 jobs, even 3 jobs to support me and my sister when I was younger. We had our grandparents stay with us to take care of us, but after they passed on, me and my sister was always on our own to make sure that we cook for ourselves, we take care of ourselves. So that got me started cooking, So a lot of times, because like I stay in a very old flat, like old design flat where the laundry is just, the kitchen and the laundry is just like next to each other. So it's like if I cook, my laundry will get all the fumes from the cooking and everything, right? So like that's one thing that sometimes, when you don't plan well, you run into that problem. So how it started was that sometimes certain dishes, right, I'll cook using the rice cooker. So it's been something that I've been doing since a few years ago, but never really struck me as anything because it was a common thing for us. Then what happened was last year December, right, during that period, there was this viral post or article going online about using KFC to make chicken rice. It's going the rounds on the internet and it was like very famous. It was a Japanese recipe that a lot of people are doing. There are and they're saying like, oh, this is very famous, this is very popular, and it was like it took the internet by like crazy. Like everyone was like, wow, what is this? They're so crazy about it. But no one actually got down to doing it, or at least at the point of time, through what I could see, no one actually was doing it, you see. So I thought to myself, this looks okay, looks decent. So I went to research a few of the articles, I found out that, okay, this one is the one that really works, and I give it a shot. I give it a try. I posted on my Instagram stories, and one of my friends texted me, said, hey, that's the recipe. I want the recipe, but stories disappear after 24 hours. Can you save it for me? I said, why not I put it in my highlights, IG highlights, so they can see forever or as long as you can. And I'm thinking, since someone asked me, why not I just post on Facebook just for the fun of it, like just let people see lah. So after that, I posted online, and 4 days later, it crossed 10,000 shares on Facebook.
Okay.
And that was the first time in my life I had a viral post, and it went, I didn't know how to react. I couldn't really sleep for 4 days because I didn't know what to do, because like my phone kept vibrating. I keep getting a lot of a lot of like notifications, messages, and everything. I didn't know how to handle it. It took me by surprise. And after that, I started to do different recipes, and somehow it got stuck. Yeah.
That's
So
really
that was
awesome.
what happened.
It's really
Yeah.
fantastic when I saw your post. Like it's going viral. Yeah.
Yeah. So food has been something that I always like, and that's the reason why it's a passion of mine. So basically, that's why it was easy for me to do.
So, so, so the thing is, what you're trying to demonstrate there is like just not talking about finance, but you can still attract clients, to you
Hmm.
through other passionate things that you can do.
Hmm.
And
Yes, yes. So for me, like what I look at it, it's slightly different because I feel that like everyone knows the importance of insurance. Everybody know in the importance of financial planning, but it's something that people need time to understand and need time to figure out. Okay, like I'm ready. I want to talk about it, and or rather, I want to find someone I can trust. So what I'm doing right now is that I don't sell anything. I don't sell anything anywhere, like even through my rice cooker man and community, even through my if you're whether you're on which angle of my business, be it for my insurance business or be it the way a rice cooker is always about giving. It's never about taking. And I just want to give to the point where you feel I'm valuable enough, you feel that you enjoy me, you like me, you want to work with me, then that's where I reap the rewards. So I truly believe in that. And of course, through my work, I have so far 10 walk-in inquiries about insurance, about financial planning through my through social media, which I've never talked to them about anything about insurance. They just came to me, they saw what I do, they like what I do, they trust me, they came to me, and then I just we start a conversation from there. They always initiate the conversation with me, never from my end, never not from my end. I think that something speaks about it because one thing for sure is that when you trust someone enough, then naturally, I mean, like financial planning could be, I like to think that financial planning is something that's very personal. You get to know everyone's detail, you know my finances, you know how much I earn. Definitely you want to work with someone that you trust. But how would I trust someone that I've not met for the first time and I only have we talk about roadshow, we talk about cold calling, I only get meet only the 30 seconds or that 1 minute to make the impression that either I like you or I don't like you. But for me on my social media, I build it so many times, the way I do it, you get to see what kind of person I am in terms of the values I hold, the way I carry myself, the way I talk, that will maybe show you or give you a glimpse of what kind of person I am professionally as well. Then probably by then, when the time is right, you naturally come to me and say, hey, Leslie, I like you, I enjoy your content, I trust you, and I believe in what you say, like the way, like how my recipes, how I find hacks, life hacks, in terms of like today I just posted the best replacement for chicken, the McMuffin chicken patty. So I found something that was like almost identical. So I share these kind of things with people, and because of that, you will trust me more. If you like my taste, you trust me more. Like I don't put out half-ass stuff. I put it like good content. Then and I educate you through like my insurance video that are non-salesy. There's no call to action in any way. Just telling you that these are the things you need to know. Then when the time is right, you just come back to me and say, look, I want to work with you about financial planning. So I play a very long game that for me in terms of the social media.
so you just told that you do talk about financial planning, but do you do a webinar or how do you do that?
So for my financial planning, I do videos, like educational videos. Like I talk about like the recent one I just did was why are financial reviews important? Back then, before that was do you know about what's free look? Do you know you can try insurance for free? Then I talk about free look. Then I talk about the changes in the critical illness definitions. I talk about what's terminal illness and critical illness, and what's disability. So these are jargons that to us as financial consultants, it's like saying ABC. It's like you say critical illness. Oh yeah, I know what I'm talking about. But for the common man, the man on the street may not know what is critical illness. Like so, having a cyst, is it critical illness? It's not. It's actually an early stage, and depending on the the reports and everything, it could be stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, you see. But not everyone would understand that. So my objective was to simplify and make those jargon easy for you to understand. So you yourself, even if you meet someone on the street and they talk about all these things, you have some knowledge of what's your right as a consumer, or you know yourself enough that you know what you can do and what you cannot do, and what are the rights as a consumer. Okay, yeah, again, I just read the rights of a consumer, and what are the things you need to look out for. Because I believe by me doing this, I raise the standards of financial planning in Singapore, or at least in my own way, so that it becomes less of a taboo subject, less of a scammy thing. Because a lot of people feel like, oh, buy insurance is fake, it's scammy, I get cheated on. Because most of the time it's not because it's cheated, but rather they are more afraid of, like, am I getting the correct thing now? Because a lot of times when you look at a benefit illustration of a plan, it could be 50, 60 pages, and let's be realistic, nobody reads the 50, 60 pages unless you're a lawyer or you like to read. Other than that, I think most people will not read the full disclosure, and they read like parts of it that are important points. And so even though you read at your own discretion, sometimes you still feel very hard to really understand it yourself. So my idea is just to make sure that everybody have like information like this offhand at your fingertips for you to just consume and understand better.
So these educational videos, are you posting it just on your profile page, or do you have a separate group page or something?
I have a page. I have a personal page that it's pure finance. It's also called Leslie Koh. It's mainly on my work. Like, it's all finance related. All my videos, like on my personal profile, which I'll post it as well. And I also post it on LinkedIn. YouTube is something I'm still doing. Like, I used to have a YouTube channel that I post the videos, but right now I'm trying to restructure it. So I deleted everything and I'm refocusing on that. So YouTube is something that I'm going to go on next. So these are all the platforms I'm just going to post out there, and just make sure that everybody has access to it, because different people consume content differently. I also post it on Instagram. Yeah, everywhere I can post, I'll post. TikTok is something that I'm venturing into eventually, but right now, I think it's not the thing that I want to do right now in terms of TikTok for now. But eventually, I want to move to TikTok.
Yeah, I saw that. I think I saw some couple of funny videos of yours.
Yeah. Yeah. So for TikTok, my objective for TikTok was mainly to entertain. So how it started was, it was interesting. So I have my online mentor is actually Gary Vaynerchuk, and one of the things he taught me and I learned is that if you want to excel in a platform, consume the platform. So for me, how it started was I started consuming the platform for like a few days, 3-4 hours a day, during like my off timings, like before I sleep or what, just to consume the content every now and then, to see how people do things, what are the trends, what people like to do on social media, what are the viral ones, what are trending, understand the concept and how the consumer works, how people consume the content there. Then find your niche in that sense, or what you like to do, then you go into it. So how it started was, so after I consumed everything, I was still finding that spark to join, right? So what happened was my rice cooker actually died. My rice cooker of 8 years died on me. It was a very old rice cooker and died on me. So the moment it died, something just sparked off me and said, you know what, I'm just going to do a funny video about me doing a send off to my rice cooker. And after that, the next day would be me doing a funny video of me, introducing my new rice cooker. So it was, the second video was me doing the Simba, apply the in the cartoon, apply the thing, then they push it on the rock, put on the rock, then they just do the thing. So I wanted to do that video. So it was an idea that I saw someone did it already, and no one was doing a rice cooker, you see. So when my rice cooker died, everything just fall into place. Then after I did that already, then I realized, hey, it was funny. I enjoyed it a lot, and I thought it was funny, and people actually liked it a lot. And that was the period where circuit breaker was like going to happen, and I thought, why not? Let's just give myself a challenge to do a video a day just to entertain, because I feel that at this point of time, at this juncture, like people don't want to be bogged down with like heavy content, heavy stuff like financial planning, like insurance. That's not their top of their mind right now. Their top of their mind will be survival. Like how can I will I still have a job after this whole period? One. Second thing would be I'm so bored at home. I don't know what to do. I need to cook every day. I don't know. I'm getting crazy from like my kids' home-based learning and everything. So there's a lot of tension at home in terms of like a lot of stress and pressure at home, be it from home or is it from work. So I thought that why not I focus on in terms of entertainment, just give you pure entertainment, nothing, no sales, nothing at all. Of course, in between, I still do my educational video because I still think that brings you some value if you want to go if you, I mean, insurance is still important. Like if you have the time, you have a bit of bandwidth, it's something you can learn as well. So, but as a whole, I just think that entertainment and should be something that you're looking for. One. Second thing would be cooking is something that I enjoy. I want to share my recipes with you so that you can cook as and when you want. At least give you some inspiration on what to cook. So that was something that I was very focused on during this whole period. And I've been doing one TikTok video a day for 45, 46 days. I lost count already. So I'm hitting 50 soon. But I'm in the 40 plus video in a row. So every single day I'll post one. Yeah.
So that's awesome what you're doing during this crisis period. Yeah.
Mm.
So what's your vision for the future?
My vision for the future would be that eventually, right, home non-face-to-face conversation like this will be more and more prevalent. Like it'll be a lot easier for us to, like I had a study done, or rather, sorry, I saw a study done by Hootsuite. They're saying that 47% more people are consuming more social media online, which means that they say 30 days to create a habit. So it has been like 2 months. So the habit will be definitely more on social media. And even though after the whole circuit breaker were to really, really officially end, everybody go back to their normal life, which probably be maybe September or November, that period, the end of the year, Q3, Q4, that time already, right? By then, most people will be still on social media. Means they will still consume a lot more. Of course, there will be a drop because they want to go back to their normal lives, but social media will be something they are more comfortable with, comfortable on. So more attention will be on social media, and that is where I realize, I feel that, right, like in terms of like we talk about prospecting, we talk about roadshows, that would be something that would be harder to do, or rather less effective than in the future. It's nevertheless, I still believe that a new consultant, a new advisor should still do street prospecting, door knocking, canvassing, all this kind of activity, because even though they're traditional, they are old school methods, but they are the best way for you to train up, get your ranks up, grind and hustle, and really build up your tenacity and really learn the skill set fast. But social media is a game that you need to really play on while doing both. So that by the time you build a skill set up, your branding is ready for you to capitalize on. So I think that now everybody needs to think of themselves as a company itself. We are one company. We are one-man company where you run your own finance, you run your own marketing, your marketing agency, your distribution. Everything is all on you. So I think that you should start to see it that way. And if you were to not look at it and hope that things will be the same in the future, I think that's a very bad mistake. Like I give you an example, like Skype. I believe your time and my time, Skype was a big thing. Like Skype was the way to go to talk about web conferencing and doing seminars or webinars. It was the thing. Like 17 years, they had a head start. Zoom was nobody knew what was Zoom. And look at where we are today, we are Zoom, because things will happen like that. If you don't take care of yourself, you don't innovate, you don't build on it, if you rest on what you think you have been good on, then this is what's going to happen to you. Like Zoom is the biggest thing. Like everybody, like now it's a trend. Like, hey, can I give me? Let's Zoom. It's a thing already. It's a trend already.
It's a norm.
Yeah, it's kind of standard, like, right? Like to have like this kind of background, like this on virtual background. I'm in Japan, Mount Fuji. No, this is something that in like Skype, I don't remember having this kind of thing. They just blur out your background, and this is now the trend. Like I mean, I personally not sure how many webinars have been going on for the whole last 2 months. I attended like at least 5 to 6 myself, and just look at that. This is what I think that we need to constantly learn to adapt. I think that's the most important thing we also need to learn as well.
So one of the things is the marketplace is changing rapidly. It has already changed. The economy also is not going to be the same. So how are you geared up to meet the future challenges?
I think the key thing is the really key thing is really paying attention to where the attention is at. I think that's the key that we need to really understand right now. Like, where is the attention at right now? In terms of how do you gear up for the future? Like right now, if the attention now is on Zoom, to figure out how can you use Zoom to not say monetize it, but to build into your business. For example, we are doing a Zoom interview. This wouldn't have happened 3 months or 6 months ago. I will never have a conversation with you. Never have a conversation with me. So capitalize on that. Like right now, Zoom is a thing. So start doing, by example, things like Zoom workouts, which a lot of people are doing right now. Zoom workouts, Zoom webinars, playing games, catching up with friends. That should be the attention. Like now, TikTok is the platform to be on. So you should be on TikTok can be talking about finance. You can talk about education. You're talking about giving value, anything. So find out where the attention is, or rather where the attention of your audience is, and always pay attention to that and just move on to that. Like TikTok could be here for 6 months. Maybe end of the COVID, TikTok is no longer the same thing. It could be, I don't know, maybe ABC app. So once you know that the attention has shifted to something else, then you need to make sure that how can you shift on that, and how can you position yourself as a person of influence or authority in that platform. And that's how you keep constantly have that attention, that when you trade that attention, that's how you'll be able to get business from there. That's why I feel that it's very important.
That's awesome. So what's your vision for the future?
My vision is that everybody will be able to, in general, the general public will have less skepticism when it comes to financial planning. When you're having a call with an insurance agent, don't just hang up. People are more receptive to hearing what they have to say first, even though it could be a very salesy call. Say, hey, I'm so and so. I'm calling about this MediShield upgrade or anything like that. And just tell them nicely, thank you very much for your time. I've done what I need to do, and just hang up. I think fundamentally is how people do their business. Both ends. Consumers are more receptive towards the insurance and financial planning, and insurance agent behaving themselves better in terms of like how we do our business. It's good to be pushy at some point, at certain stage of the sales cycle. I think it's good to be pushy when the client is undecided because they're just indecisive. But I still feel that, of course, if the person needs more time to think, of course, we give them time to think. But not doing like very forced closure in terms of plans, be better behavior in that sense. I think with that, we raise the standard of how financial planning is. That will go a very long way when come to the next generation, when the Gen Z or when people are 18 and 20, they know that the importance of it. Then they understand why financial planning is important, and maybe just maybe. Financial planning be taught as a curriculum in tertiary education. Like for example, if it's in maybe in like secondary school, or maybe even in maybe you are on A level, at GC level, at poly level, or university level, that there should be like a short module on like basics of financial planning. Like 50% should be your fixed expenses, 20% should be your insurance, and 30% for whatever you want to spend on. Basic knowledge, basic understanding. and that will make everybody go a very long way. Like you just look at how the company, rather the government forces us, like talk about credit card debt. So I think our government learns a lot from the US, and we are always very reactive. Like we see what happens in the US, we take that, we try and implement to where we are today, our society or our country, and then after we learn from it. But I feel that we should also take a proactive action whereby, I mean, that's what I feel like in the future, whereby, kids or like people, students that are in their tertiary education, they understand the importance of financial planning. No need to know in detail, but in a general term, like how do you manage money? Because I realize that it's a topic that it's not taught in anywhere, and if you have that basic knowledge, right, then you understand that, the importance of compounding interest, understand the importance of managing your money in general. No need to talk about insurance itself, but just managing money. Then as a whole, right, the next generation or the following generation will be a lot more well-to-do and make better decisions. Because I feel that, right, sometimes, like poor or the rich, the difference between a poor guy and a rich guy sometimes is not how much they earn, but how well informed they are. Not necessarily you need to be well informed in terms of like I have higher education or not, but I can be staying in a 4-room flat, paid off. I got no debt. I have maybe 50,000 in the bank, but like my insurance, everything is all taken care of. If something happens to me, my kids are being taken care of. If something happens to me when I grow old, or rather when I grow old, my retirement is taken care of. That is a wealthy person to begin with. If you think about it, doesn't mean that you have to be like wealthy rich. I stay in a bungalow. I have 3 cars, 5 dogs. I have two domestic helpers. That means I'm rich. I think that is the real thing that we need to understand, that like a lot of times people lose money in terms of like stock market is because they're not well informed enough. I think knowledge is very important right now in this day and age, that if you're well informed, chances are you cannot be too far off from being I would say like doing decent in life in terms of your finances. I think that's very important. A lot of people don't know how to manage their finances well, or rather know how to take care of their money. Like putting the bank, it's not going to help you at all. You need to know how to make sure money work harder for you. It could be through, cashback cards. It could be through, putting in like even Singapore savings bond is even better than the bank. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think that's a fantastic idea that you came and told. Like it should be introduced. At least the basic level should be introduced so that children start to get a feel of what financial planning is all about. That's an awesome thing. That's an awesome thing.
Thank you.
So what's your personal vision for the future?
My personal vision for the future is actually still got to do with my community. Like I really, really hope that I can really start a community of people that are my ambassadors, that to really share, like to be always helping one another. Like helping people is always something that it's a core value of mine that I can never take away. It's a trait that it's something I'm very it's the best trait of mine, and it's the worst trait of mine. And what do I mean by that? Like my best trait is that I always love to help people, but the downside of it is that sometimes I help people too much to the point where I don't take care of myself. So that's a double-edged sword that I need to always take care of. Something I need to take care of to make sure that I'm being taken care of as well. So I want to create a community whereby everybody work help hand in hand. And like my personal vision is that I'm able to really have this is just a vision of mine. Like when everything dies down, I really want to have a sit-down dinner with 100 people that is part of my rice cooker man community. Like that's really, really what I want. Like I truly believe that food brings people together. Like one of the things I believe is food brings people together. Like to me, when I'm growing up, a home cooked meal, my dad will come home, everyone will come home just to have a home cooked meal together. And that's something that I always love and always enjoy, to have a home cooked meal with a family. Like I want to build a community, a family of like this 100 people that believe in my brand and believe in the values that I believe, which is to always be helpful and always be kind and always be the people around you, and that have that community together to sit down at the dinner and everybody having fun, everybody enjoying good food. That's something that I really, really hope to have. And nothing to do with my business, because I feel that if I can do that well, I do that proper, right? That will take care of my business itself. I truly believe in that. The impact, once you create enough impact in someone's life, the money or the profit will come it eventually, one way or another. Just how you see it and how can you manage it properly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
An
my
awesome vision you have
yeah.
there. So that's really good, fantastic.
Thank you.
So, what would be your advice for a newcomer to financial advising field?
I would say that don't get caught up by don't be caught up by money. It's the easiest thing to be caught up. Like if you're driven by money, it's fine. There's no wrong about driven by money, because the first rule is to be able to survive. So using be money driven, it's fine. It's okay, totally okay. In fact, some of the best salesperson that I know are driven by money. But once you are driven by money, right, you got to understand that are you happy at the end of the day? Do you help people? Do you join this? You just take everyone as a cash cow? Do you? I think that's why I want to say that, because a lot of people came in, I want to drive nice fancy cars. I need a Montbon pen to sign documents. I need to stay in a very big landed property. I mean, those are aspirations. I get it. I do have that last time. But once you get into that cycle, sometimes it's not very healthy for you, because, like, for example, if today, right now, has my business suffered? Yes, my business has suffered because of the COVID-19 situation. But I'm okay. I can still enjoy to do what I want to do, because I don't have a car. I sold my car. I stopped driving. I don't have big expenses that I'm running on. I can run very lean on my expenses, because I have more money to invest in my business. I have more money to do my rice cooker. I have more money to do everything else I want to do. So that being said, right, I think money is don't get so driven by all this fancy stuff. Don't get so caught up by the glitz and glamour. I mean, you can, if you can afford it, great. I'm happy for you. Like, just do what you feel like makes you happy. But end of the day, I feel that don't get caught up by the money. That's very important, because a lot of times you join in business because of money, then you get so caught up by the branding, in terms of like, I need to wear a Hugo Boss suit to make myself feel good. I need to wear branded glasses and everything. I don't think that's very necessary. So just understand that success comes with a lot of hard work. Luck plays a big. I don't deny that luck plays a part, but 90% is really hard work. Because the thing is, if I didn't make that, if I didn't try the recipe, I will not have the luck. It's just that simple. Yeah.
So if somebody wants to avail your services, how they can contact you?
So you can always find me on Facebook. I'm Leslie Koh. On Instagram, leslie.koh, or LinkedIn. So I'm everywhere. Like, I try to be as everywhere. But again, I understand that different people consume content differently, except for YouTube, which is something that, again, I'm still trying to figure out. Like, I need to allocate time to do it. So I'm trying to restructure my videos to put it on YouTube. But you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Facebook, LinkedIn, Facebook, yeah.
That's great. So, it was great talking to you, Leslie, and it was really wonderful and very insightful into what you shared here in this interview. And you have a great
Thank you.
vision. And I wish you all the very best for your future. And you're doing a great job in attracting more people and impacting their lives and taking care of them. And in taking care of them. So I wish you all the very best, and keep rocking, and keep making a bigger difference in people's lives.
Thank you, Raghu. Thanks a lot for having me. Thank you.
Thank you.